Hey guys, it's Rob here and welcome back to another video. So we have some pretty exciting and surprising news for you guys to break down today. From customizable Joy-Con panels on the Nintendo Switch 2 that let you swap out colors like the PS5 faceplates, to a new lawsuit against accessory company Genki, and even some fresh updates on the Star Wars Outlaw release for the Nintendo Switch 2. There's a lot going on, so let's break it down. So let's start with the most fun update. Nintendo is going to let us customize the Joy-Con side panels. That's right, much like Sony's PlayStation 5, which lets you customize the outside of the console with its faceplates, I mean. The Nintendo Switch 2 is going to have interchangeable side panels on the Joy-Cons for the Nintendo Switch 2. So according to reports, these will function similarly as faceplates, meaning that you won't have to buy entirely new Joy-Cons to change up the look of your Joy-Cons. Considering that Joy-Cons are going to cost a lot more going forward, I think it's like almost $100. This is probably a really good thing for those who do want to customize their Joy-Cons and don't want to buy whole new Joy-Cons. Another cool thing about this and what it means for Joy-Cons is that it opens up for theme designs and special editions and just overall more personal customization without breaking the bank. I mean, just imagine being able to snap on a Zelda themed panel for The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom and then swap out for a Mario one later on if you kind of feel like having a Mario Joy-Con. And then of course there's the fan designs that we'll see throughout the time of the Nintendo Switch's lifetime and of course after. And on top of that, you'll have like third-party companies doing some wacky things like they did on the Nintendo Wii U and Nintendo Wii and of course the original Nintendo Switch. For me, this is actually pretty good because I usually don't go out and buy new Joy-Cons even on the original Nintendo Switch before the price increases. So the fact that I'll be able to customize my Nintendo Switch Joy-Cons will be really great. Now, as far as I know, we haven't really seen too many companies coming out about these faceplates at all, so we don't really know what companies are going to do with this. We don't know what Nintendo themselves is going to do with this. Maybe we'll find that out later on. Now, shifting over to something a bit more serious, Nintendo has filed a lawsuit against accessory manufacturer Genki. If you're familiar, Genki is well known in the Nintendo Switch community for producing high quality third-party gear like the Genki Covert Dock, Bluetooth adapters, and other things like that. So what exactly happened here? Well, it looks like Genki showcased accessories revealing the Nintendo Switch 2. If you guys remember, we covered that Nintendo Switch 2 leak. And this gave a lot of details about the Nintendo Switch 2 before it was even revealed by Nintendo themselves. Now, of course, a lot of things before that also have been leaked. Specs, designs, plans, a whole bunch of stuff about the Nintendo Switch 2. Essentially, the whole console was leaked well before that. But what Genki did was kind of like right in Nintendo's face, if you know what I mean. They basically said, look at what we have, Nintendo, sue us. I mean, they were just asking to be sued if you're asking me. And as expected, Nintendo really didn't take too kindly to this. The company has had a long-standing reputation for protecting its IPs and of course its consoles and keeping unreleased products tightly under wraps for the most part. A lot of stuff does leak actually, now that I think about it. I mean, they've gone after leakers, data miners, and even content creators before, and now Genki is the latest name on the list. So I don't really know what they were thinking when they were doing this. They kind of shot themselves in the foot here. From what we know, Nintendo is alleging that Genki broke confidentiality by either revealing hardware details or using unreleased specs to promote their own product. Genki hasn't made a public statement yet, but this could be a major blow for them, especially considering how closely they are tied to the Nintendo system itself and its ecosystem. This also sends a clear message to other people who do end up leaking stuff. Even well-regarded third-party companies aren't immune to Nintendo's legal force if they cross the line that Nintendo themselves have drawn. And for fans, this might mean that there might be delays or limitations when it comes to third-party accessory development for the Nintendo Switch 2, at least early on. With that being said, let's talk about the next topic, Star Wars Outlaws. So the upcoming Star Wars Outlaws that's going to be for the Nintendo Switch 2 is in a pretty interesting situation. So over on Twitter, Stealth40k has this to say, and this is the first part of the story. Ubisoft Brazil basically confirmed Rainbow Six Siege and Assassin's Creed Mirage are also coming to the Nintendo Switch 2. They asked what games people would like to see on the Nintendo Switch, and this is the image they used. Assassin's Creed Shadows was rated by PEGI for Switch 2 already. So those three games, Assassin's Creed Mirage, of course Assassin's Creed Shadows, and Rainbow Six Siege. Those three Ubisoft games you should be expecting hitting the Nintendo Switch 2, and Star Wars Outlaws is just the latest one in the line, which is the news that we're covering right now. I thought I'd throw that other bit of news in there for anyone who's interested in those games. So let's talk about Star Wars Outlaws. So it's an upcoming open world Star Wars game if no one knows about this game yet, which most people probably do, I would assume. So Ubisoft has confirmed that this is going to be a physical release for the Nintendo Switch 2, but there is a pretty unfortunate twist, kinda. It's kinda unfortunate. I mean, something that we we've already seen across multiple games before the Nintendo Switch 2 was even revealed and these game key cards even came across. It's gonna be on a game key card and it's not actually gonna be on the actual cartridge. You'll still be able to get the cartridge, it just won't be like a code like they usually do in these type of situations. So what does that mean? Essentially, you'll be able to buy the box in store, and inside, yes, there will be a card, but there will be the download code on that card. Now, the actual game isn't gonna be directly on that card. Once you pop the card into the Nintendo Switch 2, then the game will start downloading. So while it is a physical release, it's really not a physical release, it's still digital. From what I understand, this has always been a thing. It just seems like Nintendo made it better, if that makes sense. It's a lot better than just having a simple code, because what you can do is if you want to sell the game, you can sell the game back to GameStop or something. You also can pass it around to other people as well, at least from what I understand. And again, this isn't the first time we've seen this. Some third-party publishers are already doing this for a large amount of the Nintendo Switch 2 games. Now, my personal opinion about this, or at least how I'm feeling and how I've dealt with this in the past, is like I don't really notice it too much, if I'm being honest. Like, there have been games where most of the stuff ends up downloading, or you have to do a huge download anyways, like on the PlayStation 5 and on, say, Division 3 or even Diablo 4, I still have to download a large portion of that game. There's no popping it in and playing it. I 100% wish that was the case, but that's just not the case. The one thing I'm glad is that not every company is doing this. Something like Cyberpunk is all on the game cartridge, so that's still very fantastic. So it's not every single company, but when it comes to Ubisoft, they're going to be doing that. And more than likely, it's going to be the same thing for Mirage and also Rainbow Six Siege and also the other game. I can't remember the game, which one it was. Now, I would say there is an upside to this, at least when it comes to the Nintendo Switch 2. This means Ubisoft sees enough power and marketing potential in the new system to justify a release of their games, and this is probably other third-party games as well. We've heard about this before the Nintendo Switch 2 was even revealed. It does suck that it's kind of like a digital key on the cartridge, but at least you can sell it back or trade it to somebody. Either way, we do know Star Wars Outlaws is going to be landing on the Nintendo Switch 2, and it's a pretty big game, and it's a pretty recent game, so that's really fantastic. We're seeing a lot of these games that are very recent hitting the platform, which is fantastic news. The console itself is pretty powerful as well, so we should be seeing a lot of third-party games for the Nintendo Switch 2, especially since June is coming up, literally during the Nintendo Switch 2 launch. So when like Sony and Xbox and all these companies are doing their showcases, we should see Nintendo Switch 2 there, and it's gonna be absolutely insane to see what games are gonna be hitting the platform. I'm pretty excited, although I am still disappointed on some of the stuff here. I am also equally excited. So to wrap all this up, we have customizable Joy-Con panels to look forward to, which could totally change the way the Joy-Cons look, depending on what third-party companies do. Then there's Genki's lawsuit reminding us that Nintendo does play hardball when it comes to early reveals and leaks, and of course lawsuits. And lastly, Star Wars Outlaws will be hitting the Nintendo Switch 2, but only in the form of a download key card, not a fully on the card release, if that makes sense. You guys know what I mean. So what do you guys think about this? Are you excited for the Joy-Con panel system? Do you think that Nintendo went too far with Genki's lawsuit? Are you okay with the physical game not being on the actual card when it comes to Star Wars Outlaws if you were interested in that game? I actually still have to try that game out, so I might rent it from GameFly. And I think that's another positive, actually. If you ever use GameFly or any rental service, that means these third-party games that maybe sometimes will only be digital only, you can still rent it from different places like that. With the price increase, I'm going to be using GameFly quite a lot. Tell me your thoughts about all that in the comment section below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care. And if not, on your way out, make sure you subscribe for more videos and also have that notification bell on. And if you want to support the channel in any other way, there is my Patreon and Twitter account in the pinned comment if you're interested in those. Oh, and also have this donut if you're still sticking around for me rambling. Thanks for watching, guys, and remember, stay safe, stay charged, and have a good one.